So here I am, I'm down at Hougoumont Farm. Imagine yourself being here on the 18th of June 1815. Napoleon's army is over there. That's to the south. This is Hougoumont Farm, and just behind me, there's the farm itself. Now, where the camera stood at the moment is the orchard. Now, all around there's a wall, and the British was manning the wall, and it was the 2nd Battalion, the Coldstream Guards that was here, along with, I think, a few Hanoverians. So on that day, imagine the French are coming. There's smoke billowing, there's gunfire going off, Alice over the place. You've got the North Gate down there. You've got the South Gate just round the corner here. And it's the South Gate where they stopped the French coming in. And when they did that, that halted their advance. However, there were a few frogs that managed to get over the wall into the orchard. And we're going to look at one of those little incidents in just a moment. So imagine you're a Coldstream Guard. You're here with a few of your mates. You've got your muskets, and you've got a little hole like that. And through that little hole, the other side of that wall is Frenchmen's. The French are coming, wave after wave, from the south. And you and your mates, you're here. You're taking aim. You're seeing a frog in your sights. You're fired, you step back out of the way. Your mate jumps in. He's in there. He's waiting for a target to come in. He fires his musket while you're busy reloading yours. So you're biting, you're pouring, you're spitting, you're ramming, and then you're going round. There's probably 3 or 4 of you going round, and you're keeping up the fire all the while. The French are coming. At some stage along this wall, some frogs have managed to get over the fence, get over the wall. He must have been an officer, because he's got a pistol. And we know he's got a pistol because he fired the bloody thing. And he's fired it, and it's missed. But that little pistol ball was found over 200 odd years later, right here in the orchard at Hougoumont Farm. All the while, you've got French attacking. Some French got over the wall. What happened to them, we ain't sure. But we can guarantee it didn't end well for them, because the Coldstream Guards carried on. And at the end of the day, the Coldstream Guards held out and saved the day. They saved Wellington's right form. They saved the right. The French didn't take the farm, and they didn't get behind Wellington. About 7:30 in the evening, old Boney's left with no choice but to send in the Imperial Guard. He's Imperial Guard. The best of the best, the cream of the crop. What happens? Our brave lads held them off. They kept coming. The Imperial Guard were known for keep coming. What happens to them? Well, like all Frenchmen, they'd had enough. They turned, started to retreat. That, about 8 o'clock, was the key point in the whole battle. When the Imperial Guard started to retreat, that was it. Curtains for old Boney. He rode off into exile, never to rear his ugly head again. But once his Imperial Guard had given up, that was it. That was the key to the rest of Napoleon's army chucking in the towel. It was a result. for the English and the old Blucher and his boys. History could have been changed that day, and maybe I could have been speaking French like a Frenchman. So this is the kind of view that a Frenchman would get as he's coming up to a wall. And if you can imagine a musket pointing out of that hole, and if he gets this close, there's going to be somebody trying to stick a bayonet in him or shoot him with a musket. And that's the view into the orchard at Hougoumont Farm. And you can see the British flag is flying proudly over the farm because we held it. So looking away from the farm, and this is the wall that they had to come from. That's the south, the direction that the French was coming. Out here, this was the battleground. This was Wellington's right, Napoleon's left. And it was key for Napoleon to take this farm, this bit, so he could get behind Wellington. But the Coldstream Guards held them off.
On the afternoon of the 18th of June 1815, French troops finally broke through the walls of Hougoumont Farm and forced open the north gate. For a few desperate moments it appeared the farm would fall. Then a small group of British Guardsmen, led by Lieutenant Colonel James Macdonell and Captain James Graham, threw themselves into the fight, battling hand to hand against overwhelming odds. They forced the heavy gates shut and barred them from the inside. The French soldiers trapped within were overwhelmed, and Hougoumont Farm remained in Allied hands. Wellington would later regard this defence of Hougoumont as one of the key moments that helped secure victory at Waterloo.
So here's a little monument, actually here in Hougoumont, in the orchard, and it says All Soldats Français Morts à Hougoumont, 18th of June 1815. Now, I'm not brilliant at French, but my guess is this is to the brave Frenchman that actually attacked here and got into the orchard at Hougoumont Farm. So it's probably a monument to one of those Frenchmen that came in with his pistol and his sword, and he fired his pistol and missed its target. And it's likely that the target finished him off, caused his demise. Aha, there's the boys from Waterloo uncovered. The guys I did the course with last year. And this is where they've got their artefacts and bits and pieces. There you go. A veteran's perspective. That's what the course was all about. Now, as my understanding, Waterloo Uncovered are planning on coming back in 2027 to do a little bit more digging. So that's it from me here in Hougoumont Farm, the orchard where that pistol ball was fired, and Napoleon and his boys lost the day.